Coach Justin Charles, and this is the Eagles Nest Coaches Show with head coach Justin Charles. And we do have a guest once again. Coach Thomas Scully will be joining us to talk about the defense. We do have highlights on the defense. And I have just as many highlights for defense as I have for offense.
You hear me?
There you go. Yep.
I can hear myself. He had a set on defense, and so we were good. It was a fair fight, except for when we were on the field.
That's right. Hey, but speaking of, first of all, I did not get a chance to be at the game for homecoming because we were celebrating a wonderful wedding of some young kids who it's just hard to believe how at their house too. But the Hamlin family and Meredith Hamlin and Ben, they congratulations to them. But my phone on and going into really good. And then, when I first popped on, it was already 7-0.
Uh-huh.
And then I popped on again, it was 28-0. And then I popped on in sometime in the congratulations. We were sitting here last Wednesday, and we ended it hoping that we could come back and we could be talking about a victory of the 3 seasons that you have in high school football.
Yeah.
And y'all are 1-0.
Yeah, we're 1-0 in the second half of the season, which the second half is obviously district play. Our kids came out, and look, we wanted to have a victory, obviously. We always want to have a victory, but we wanted to have a clean victory the other day. And so that's what I do feel very well on defense the other day. Had some guys step up that been kind of struggling tackling area, but, man, they came up and made some good strikes, and then you can just see the confidence building the more and more we got. We did some things well in the special teams game, and I think just overall execution, that's all we wanted. We wanted to have a clean victory where it wasn't just one side playing well and the other, having to carry the other side of the ball. We played well in all 3 phases of the game, and so that's what we needed to start off district.
Well, and you talk about it, the clean game and both the offense and the defense helping each other out, and special teams too, for that matter. I mean, you even had some nice special teams play.
Yeah.
That came through. Ryan hit some good balls.
Yeah, he went. I don't remember how many extra points he hit, maybe 6 or 7 or something like that. But he also had a field goal.
Yeah.
For about 30-something yards, and I mean it went through very well. We didn't have to punt, but on our kickoffs, they were, for the most part, right exactly where we wanted them to go. And we made some adjustments in the game because we didn't want to kick the ball to their number 4. That kid's dangerous, and so we made some good adjustments in the games where the very first time that we messed that one up, that's part of that 5% where we didn't do so hot. But outside of that, man, Ron did a great job putting the ball everywhere we asked him to do, away from that kid, and our coverage was great getting down the field.
Set the tone.
Yeah.
I thought as I went back and watched, most of the game, and we'll talk about that, and we have the highlight of it. But let's just kind of talk about a little bit, and we can mention him even more. But the young man that returned the ball, that's a new name.
Oh, yeah, Maddox Shelton. Yeah, he did. You're talking about the opening kickoff. Yes.
Yeah.
I was thinking of our first kickoff. Okay, yeah, the opening kickoff. Maddox Shelton got the ball, and look, we got in a little bit different formation because we didn't know where they were going to kick the ball because they've been doing a lot of onside and a lot of pooch kicks. So we put everybody up, and we said, Maddox, if they kick it back to you, we're just going to go block. There's no setup. There's no walls. There's no return this way, return that way. We said, just go get what you can get. Well, he gets the ball, and that generated some energy. That gave us some life, man. And so those little things like that, motivating these kids, just give them a little bit, and they continue to work and have some fun with it.
Well, and they carried that into the first offensive possession, and for an offense that you guys got out of the chute quick.
Yeah, we got out of the chute really well. The offensive line came out, and we challenged those guys this week. It was I don't want to say we changed our style of blocking, but we changed the aggressiveness of the way we blocked, and they stepped up to the challenge and really did that. There's still room for improvement there, and this week I feel we got better at it. But those guys really came out and they pushed, they drove, used their feet, and then obviously needless to say, Ruben Seastrunk had a really good game behind those guys.
Yeah, I don't know all the stats, but maybe you'll think of them off the top of your head. But Ruben, I tell you, everybody seemed to have a good game.
Yeah.
Michael Henry probably had the best game he's ever had.
Yeah,
you guys let him run.
Yeah, Michael had a good game. At first I remember early in the week we were like, I looked Mike in the eye and I bumped him. I said, "Hey, Mike, these quarterback runs are going to be all right for us." And he was like, you can tell he was kind of nervous about it. I said,
It was nice to see. I mean, everybody's
Yeah.
keying on Ruben.
Uh-huh.
You got to have some other guys
That's
that can
right.
run the ball. I mean,
That's
if they
right.
don't see Gavin back there, or now maybe Maddox, running the ball,
Yeah.
that you can shock some people with Michael Henry going,
Yeah.
hey, he's got some deceptive quickness.
He does. He's got what he does have is he runs, and it's not super fast. It's just fast enough, but he's a big kid and he has some power behind him running. So, you don't want to hit a guy that's about 200 pounds too often. Especially at the second level. Sacks aren't going to win.
Hey, we have some other offensive guys to be able to go to.
Yeah.
Injuries, a little status update, for us. I know that I saw, I think it was.
He actually played majority of the game. He's fine. He's practiced all.
So he
week.
was
He's
able to go back in
he's
and
a tough
finish?
kid. He's a tough kid. So,
Okay.
but he's the only kid that's healthy right now. We've got, for Coach Boone that's out there that's listening, we've got 52 guys on the roster. 50.
Well, and that Boone is, and Avoyelles, they rolled again. They've got the parish title wrapped up.
They do. They say it's smash mouth football, and they do a great job. So I know we're not talking about them right now, but they do a great job out there.
Yeah, no, I brought it up though.
Yeah,
I brought it up.
You did.
So so we just gave everybody a little taste of
Uh-huh.
what the rest of the show is going to be like. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be back to talk about the offense right after this.
For a lifetime of the best possible, from your next family eye exam to cataract and glaucoma evaluations, trust your vision to the experienced eye professionals at Wallace Eye Associates. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
BK Distributors, leather jackets, and just about anything award related. And now welcome BK Apparel and BK Promotions to the family. For all your spirit apparel needs and anything you need to brand your business. When you think of anything you need with your name on it, think BK. Check them out on Facebook or at
It all started with a sketch on a napkin. An idea created by two walk-on bench warmers. And after 10 years of hard work and perseverance to turn their dream into a reality, it's the #1 sports bar in America.
Welcome to Walk On.
Walk-ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
The 2022 Time, Bob earned the industry's most prestigious award out of 16,000 new car dealers nationwide.
Hi, I'm Bob Giles, and I promise our team at the all-new Giles Hyundai will do everything possible to live up to the high standards that earned us this most prestigious honor. And with the utmost enthusiasm, we greatly look forward to serving you.
And we are back live, and here at the Eagles Nest, we are on the front porch. And, I set up, Coach, because last couple of weeks has been really nice.
Rain came and got us all of a sudden. It's been nice, cool weather, dry weather, and all of a sudden it kind of rained on us today. But
it did,
it is
and
what
then
it is.
I'm getting everything set up, and I turn around, and I see water on my soundboard and on my laptop, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like a little
Was passing by.
we need the rain, and we're grateful for it, and it might have a little breeze, I feel, every once in a while coming through here. Well, Coach, let's get added some folks.
Yeah.
This must have been one of them. So if I have it right, we're going to listen to it, and then I'm going to mute it properly, so that they can hear you talking about it. All right, let's see. Let's pull this off.
Very deep, so let's see if he just kicks it on the ground. Oh, he get a pretty good kick. So it's going to go to number 4, and that's Maddox Shelton, and he's going to go up the middle. He's straight through the middle. He's broke it, and he may go! And he's caught from behind. Nice return. That's Maddox.
So there we go. Now we got it muted, and now we can kind of pause it a little bit as we get through. But Matic Shelton, what a boost for this football team, Coach. Tell us a little bit about him.
Well, Maddox Shelton's a guy that he hasn't played football in a few years. Came out, he's been playing basketball. The kid come out and he's got a grow, fast learner. So we're just proud of the kid, and he sticks with it. He's a tough kid too, and so he's just the type of kid that we want. Good body size, and he's a hard worker. So I'm just proud of in outside of football. I'm proud of Maddox Shelton's growth, man. He's grown so much as a young man. For him to come out and take this play serious is awesome. But if you look at the play right here, we kick it deep, and we were just trying to set up something, and we told those guys to go block, and they do a good job blocking.
Well, and that's what you were talking about in our opening segment, that they don't tend to kick off a lot. They onside kick. So you had, as you can see, everybody on the screen, it's not frozen. I'm pausing this so everybody gets a chance to see across the top. You basically have 3 lines of defense there.
Yeah.
To be able to catch the ball. If it squibs by the first line, you got a second line to jump on it.
There's no doubt.
Is when they saw the ball sail over their heads, they jumped in immediately into blocking mode.
And that was a situation we worked in practice. We work our special team, understanding that if the ball was kicked deep, just block whoever you can and block them effectively. Without a block in the back, and if you can't make a solid block, go to the next man. And so they do a good job doing that. And you just bring Shelton right there.
Yeah, and then just kind of getting in front of some folks, and then Shelton gets run down from behind by another quick young man for the Red Devils.
Yeah. I'll tell you this, the best part of that play, that just watching it live right there, was the excitement of David Perkins. Did you hear his excitement?
Yeah,
that was awesome.
I thought, hey, they did a really good job. I want to thank Lewis for coming back and being a part of it. And filling in for me, and he did a great job being the first time out. We got some good camera work. You saw him follow Maddox through on this one. So let's go to the next play. So we stay in the first drive, Coach, on this one. Right after Maddox takes it all the way down to about the 35, 36-yard line, as you see him going there.
The Eagles, Henry fakes. He's wide open. That's number 5. The Eagles. Henry fakes. He's wide open.
Right there.
That's
So, Coach, one thing that I thought about this, and our next play may be Strunk coming in with a big run, setting this play up for the touchdown. But what I like about this play is we've seen this high-low before, and Michael's gone for the high man, and has had some picks. But he actually had all 3 guys wide open to be able to hit them, but he took the easy throw.
Yeah, this play right here, and look, people have our film and everything, but we change up weekly, basically our rollouts. He was in the low.
Yeah,
that was just a different wrinkle, but I obviously anybody that knows me, I'm all about the kids way before I am about the X's and O's. And this play right here was most settling to me just because of the kid that caught the touchdown pass and the growth that he's had, the hard work that down. But this play right here, ever since this play happened, and in the previous week, he knew, practice, he knew he was going to get a shot at that play right there. And when he caught that touchdown pass, everybody lit up on the sideline just for that kid. It wasn't just about that touchdown. It was for that kid and his growth in the game. So very proud of him and the work that we put in. But Michael makes a good throw, makes an execution read right there. Timing was perfect. So, and then obviously you always got to give homage to or pay homage to your offensive line. They protected well.
Yeah, and you can see you can see Jaden back here in the back. He's the receiver in the far back end zone.
Yeah.
And watch his excitement after Jordan scores. You can see him do the little muscle muscle there. So that's what you were talking about.
They're best friends, man. So that was an awesome sight to see.
So on the board quickly, I think it was only 3 plays, if I'm not mistaken, to be able to get there. Now this one right here might take us to the Strunk run that set this up, and we'll see here.
5-yard line. That'll be the Pickering 35-yard line or Eagle 35-yard line, and then there's Reuben.
I mean, that was
same play.
Yeah, same play.
Okay.
Not touched, probably
So
for 5
we
yards
moved
down
now.
the field.
The defense
He's going
held.
to pick up about
And
12,
we now have
13 yards.
This play right here is on the. Wait, what happened? Where we go? Let's see. The offensive line gets right here. Is
These guys did a great job as far as taking what we said that we guys around. We're playing faster than they are, and that's all we want. That's what we want to try to do is play physical, play downhill, and those guys did that on that play right there.
Yeah, that play seemed to work a ton all night long, and it set up the runs for Henry as well. So let's run to this next one. I think I figured out what it was. I didn't hit loop, I don't think, and so when it cuts out, it stopped playing, and you got to go back to it. So
that's going to bring up a first and goal situation. Mike to Ruben Seastrunk, and he's straight up the middle, and it's a touchdown for Seastrunk.
You were saying earlier and talking with us about the fact that Seastrunk had 5 touchdowns on the night.
Yeah, he had 5 touchdowns, man. Congrats to him. I want to put that out there right now. I don't know if it's been announced yet, but he did win the Aca Athlete of the Week. He had we looked at it a second ago. 16 carries, 220-something yards rushing, and 5 touchdowns. But it's a tribute to that kid because I remember when he was a sophomore when I first got here. That kid would be on every rep on scout team, and he would get pounded, and he would touchdowns. That's given everything that he's got, and it's just the hard work that he's put in the weight room and in the track season in the summer. That's what it's about right there.
Well, and kudos to the line. I mean, you can see Braden Dusang right there with his arms up, just so excited. That made it 14-0, and I'm sure that all the offense had to be pumped with the fact that they hadn't put any points on the board in a while, and now they're on the board just in the first quarter, and pretty much early in the first quarter.
Yeah, it was.
With the 14 points, and then we head over to this one.
Up a first and about 20 for the Eagles, but I would just keep running it.
Yeah, like picking up 10 or 12 a pop.
Once again, this is going to be Lions. Fake it to.
So he faked it to Seastrunk, as you can watch him, and you had the other man in motion kind of coming in a counter, thinking, okay, you could pitch it there and run toward the near side field, but Henry just fakes it.
And so you can see that there's 3 guys that sell it out to the motion guy, and really 4 if you look at their backside safety, and they just knew we pitched it to him twice earlier in the game. And so we faked the pitch and just sent Henry right up the opposite side A-gap and led him through with Ruben Seastrunk, and he makes a great job running the ball as hard as he possibly can, and not too many guys want to tackle that.
That's right. Took it down inside the 20 into the Red River Bank red zone, and see what we got.
Cooper Scott, fullback. Ruben Seastrunk, the tailback. Old style. He'll just walk right in. Touch.
I mean, that's just easy.
Yeah, that was an easy run.
But that just kind of seals what the offense did. I mean, if you look at what's pretty cool to watch that whole right side of the offense and the seal that they get, on the edge, and there's just nobody there for.
And that's what we want. We want to be punishing guys, and I think that you see it on film right there. Our offensive line does a great job punishing, playing downhill play.
So let's show one more highlight, and this is one that you kind of talked about earlier, and we'll
snap, placement, kick, looks good.
Play long enough,
and it's good.
Oh yeah.
I mean that's what we've been wanting to see and knew we could see all season long, and to finally have it, what's it been like for Ryan, after that kick?
Man, Ryan is hard, but he knows that we've got confidence in him, and we're going to send him a scenario where it's maybe back his field goes extra point. Probably about 50% of the time that we're out there practicing. So he's got the leg, he's got the accuracy on his leg movement and his aiming point on the ball.
That made it 31-0 in the second quarter, and then you went into halftime, leading big. And but you still needed what did you need one more score to get the clock running? Was that
if you're up by 40?
And then it's automatic.
It's automatic.
Okay.
Clock running. So once it hits 42, it's an automatic running clock unless coaches talk about it, I guess. But us as a staff and their staff did not talk about trying to get the clock running as soon as possible. It just happened the way it did.
All right. Well, that carries us through the offense. We're going to take a quick break so Coach can get a sip of water, and then we'll be back to talk about the defense.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, the trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks right from your phone, day or night, wherever you are or whatever you're doing. Download our mobile app today.
And after 10 years of hard work and perseverance to turn their dream into a reality, it's the #1 sports bar in America.
Welcome to Walk On.
Walk-ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
And we're back live, and we are joined by defensive coordinator Coach Thomas Scully. Coach, highlights as the team is, up so big. I mean, I'm sure they were fired up because the offense scored, them focused and not say, "Oh, we got this one."
And that I just challenge them. I mean, and there's consequences for letting up, so we're not going to let up. We're going to keep that gas on, that foot on the gas pedal, and we're going to go. And that's what we've done all year. We've had success in certain games, and some games we haven't. We've been able to execute better. Friday night was a perfectly good at, and that's staying in our defense and staying sound and working really hard. And I thought we did a great job. They did. They played 4 quarters, and it was exciting to get in there and just compete. And so that's what we do. We start this on Monday, and we stick to that game plan. If we've got,
and I guess at some point, as you get into the second half and you're leading 40 and then 51-0, it becomes more about keeping the shutout than losing focus on the fact that you are going to win the game. I mean, at some point, there's no way they're going to come back.
We knew once the clock got going and we started, the running time started, that it was going to go really quick. But we told them stick to what got us here, and we're going to continue to do that. We're not going to let up. We're going to keep people rolling in and out, but we've got to get better at what we're doing because we knew what was coming on later on down the line in our schedule, which is what we're facing now, and a great team that's coming up this week.
Yeah, I mean that Avoyelles team, and we can talk a little bit about it as we're covering plays too.
Sure.
But that Avoyelles team, Sampson, was I don't know what number he is, but I'm sure you do, as you've probably seen him.
Sampson is he should be 16. I think he is the. He's probably, besides number 3, their main running back that's been there since the 8th grade. Sampson's doesn't matter to me. I know those numbers. So I know 16's going to carry the rock, 3's going to carry it, 4's going to carry it. They're going to try to throw it to 12. But we'll talk about those guys. They're really good, and they do a great job. And you got to be disciplined to run what they run. You really do.
Yep. And you're going to have to be disciplined on defense to stop what they do because they do so much misdirection. And if their quarterback is good handling the ball, to the defense and take a look at our first play.
Okay.
The shotgun, 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Got a slot to the left, so we got like trips left. Quarterback in shotgun. He's going to fake it to number 9, and he's going to cut it up. The Eagles got that.
So as you heard David talking about it, number 4 was their quarterback, and I'm sure this is a guy that you guys were keying on because all I heard was this is an athlete.
Absolutely, and all we wanted to do was contain 4 all night. The biggest thing with 4 was he was so versatile. He's great footwork, great hips, and he's hard. If you're looking at his upper body and his lower body and you're not focused on one spot, he's that good of an athlete, and he did a great job, but we did a great job of game planning based off of their formations. And so here we stay at home on the backside, and the strong side comes to us. We told him don't get any deeper than 4, because if you do, he's going to make a move, and then he's down the sideline. So we didn't get any deeper than 4 did. And in this instance, we knew when they had the tight end, they were going to run that option play here
in that direction.
In that direction. So that's why we kind of stayed at home. Our only concern was our corner on the outside, that he would stay outside in and not inside out, and so we wasn't chasing people down the sidelines. And that's what happens here. Besides the backside pursuit by John Tavius Hargrove, which he did an awesome job, him and Dusain did an awesome job, and Jack Melton's in this play here. But they did a great job all night pursuing from the backside.
Yeah, I'll tell you, some things that I saw on the film was number 77, Jack.
Real quiet. Jack's his own person, but Jack has worked really, really hard in the 4 years that he's been here. Homecoming king, being homecoming, that was kind of like the icing, on top of the cake.
Yeah. Well, one thing on this play, and I paused it right here because, Carter Marcantel's not on the side that it's coming. It wasn't going to come to that receiver. And then even though he didn't get in on the play, he was following over, to try to be there. But
Sure.
he held his own, and that's what I started seeing as I watched to cut plays for tonight, was just how well everybody stayed home.
Right, and that's been our biggest problem is just do your – we want to be that individual, and I keep preaching to them, just do your job. If you just do your job only, then everything else will work. There's 11 guys out there. Everybody's got a job. If they will just do their own job, then this is what the end result will be.
All right, well, we've got 5 more plays here, Coach, to kind of look at, and we'll cut this one off.
I think the quarterback's going to kick it. Eagles aren't putting anybody back. Oh, it's blocked, and it's picked up by David Roberts, the linebacker, and he's going to return it to about the Pickering.
So I know, this is a defensive play, but it's also a special teams play.
Sure.
So, Coach Matchett is in on some of this, isn't he? As far, or do you design if they're going for a punt?
I think we all have input on it. The biggest thing on defense is just check. Right here, what we did, we stayed in our base because we didn't know the way they set it up. We didn't know if they were going to punt or not, because 3 was actually a quarterback early on in the year, and that's actually Dusain just coming through. He really didn't have no business even being on a punt return, but he was in there because we were in our base defense. So kudos to him for the hustle, and he just gets his hand up there at the last second. But because 3 was a quarterback, we stayed in our base defense on all downs. It didn't matter, just because we knew 3 could throw the ball, and then they had receivers out wide. So we were worried about the fake, of course.
So now is David Roberts now asking Coach Charles about trying to play some offense and catch balls?
David Roberts has been asking to play offense since August. So, yeah, it hadn't changed. Actually, probably since 7-on-7 in June and July. He's been trying to get in the backfield because him and Cooper, they got a little thing going on, him and Cooper Scott. So if Cooper catches one, he thinks he needs to go out there and catch one.
Well,
and so, yeah.
He got his one there, didn't he?
There's his one. He's done.
And a nice return.
Sure.
All right, so now we move on. And speaking of, you brought Cooper's name
Corner,
up. Let's take a look at
and number 2,
this
Cody
play
Lyons is the safety. And, of course, David Roberts and Cooper Scott are your line.
So Cooper does a nice job here where they kind of get look at that. I'm going to have to replay it. I didn't hit the loop on that. Let's see, where's Cooper? There it is. So, the ends kind of go in on here, and I'm not sure if that's Tarek or Deuce, but Cooper stood his ground.
Sure.
Is that design?
That's design. So what happens is what we try to do is we try to get them to bounce it. We knew when they had the H-back in there or the fullback, the guy that was in the backfield, we knew it was a run play. That was based off of scouting reports and what we picked up on film. So we knew if the running back was in the backfield that we were gonna do a certain the ends would go inside. So we had an idea what they were going to do, and then bounce it out to the backers or to Marcantel. Scott, the thing about Cooper is, even though he might not give a hard hit, Cooper Scott's going to make sure the guy comes down because of it. He's got great arm length, and he does a great job of staying on the guy, and that's what happens. So he locks him up, and then we just rally to him. Once we slow him down, my thing is with our guys, if we just slow them down and we make them do just a little bit of misdirection, then we got an opportunity for the other 10 hats to get on the ball. If we just let them go and they don't have to make a move, then we're not catching anybody because we're not that talented.
Yeah, so in this play right here, I mean, you mentioned it, and I'm seeing it now, but Carter did kind of overrun that play, and you can see him putting on the brakes and kind of sliding, but because Cooper's able to hang on, he's able to recover and come back and get in on it. So that's a learning experience to be able to show him, and I'm sure you guys have already talked about that, huh?
Sure, he
probably did it on the sideline,
He
huh?
heard it as soon as he did it. Don't let up on Carter. I keep my thumb on him because he's that good of a kid. And so, yeah, he heard it. He knew. He looked at me as soon as the play was.
Coach, now look at that. Lewis with the nice coverage. Man, why are we not getting it? Let's move on. Let's see if we
Shotgun.
can get this one.
Trying to handle that snap. Looks like some holding going on. Don't give him too much room. He's going to run to the sideline. Runs into his own player. He's just trying to pick his way. Not a lot of blocking for him.
No.
Good athlete, though. He's going to pick up about 3 yards. Going to bring up 4. Shotgun.
Yeah, he didn't get much, but he didn't have anywhere to throw it quickly.
Correct.
And then you had everybody coming up and stretching him to the sideline, and you had.
And we talk a lot about that. And that's something that you can't, you really can't teach it. Even though we teach pursuit drills, you got to have 11 guys that want to be on that field. You got to have 11 guys that believe in what we're doing. And those guys in that particular play, what you just saw, those guys want to be out there. They want to be heart that they have in that chest. And that's what makes me proud right here is when you see something like that, you got guys fighting. You don't have people laying around or watching. You got guys doing their job. And the job was until he crosses that line of scrimmage, you stay with your guy, which you see the defensive backs doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else pursue that guy and try to get him going from left and right and not north to south. And that's the perfect example right there.
Well, and you see all the big guys who had already beat their man and he kind of ran by him. You see them hustling back to get into the play too. You always like to see that one. But this one, I love this play. So they're down big. I think it's 31-0 at this point, and it's coming down. I think there's less than a minute to play in the first half, maybe just seconds to play, and they decide to go for it on fourth down.
It's about 3 seconds difference.
This takes a little while to set up.
They're not in a hurry, are they?
For some
Fourth
reason,
down.
It's difficult to.
Eagles get a stop right here. They'll get the ball.
But when they
They
come
can
Well,
score.
if they run around a little bit, if they
Just the
run the
read
clock
that
down
Cooper
to
Scott
the play
makes
clock
on
down.
this
Maybe we could just
play.
let Hicks kick a really long field goal.
So right here we're thinking they're going to throw a screen.
It's right at 50.
Oh,
and
what
he's
a
going to be
play.
stopped.
Man, I saw that.
And that's
Cooper was right there and stood him up and then just drove him back. But, he read it from the very beginning when that up man slides up underneath. Cooper was on his way in. I'm just glad, he didn't jump the gun and get the offsides, but the timing was perfect.
Sure, and the thing with Cooper on that, Cooper's one of those guys we talk about, Coach Charles and I talk about all the time. He just knows the game. Trying to do is get the first. So he goes from the wing back to the quarterback, and he gets under there, and he's thinking he's going to do a quarterback sneak. And Cooper sees it before the play starts. You can see when he moves, Cooper moves because Cooper knew what he was going to do. And Cooper just hit the guy as hard as he could. Now, hit him pretty hard. And what happened was Cooper got under him instead of him getting under Cooper. And I think that's where, he stonewalled him right there from them getting that first down.
Well, it's almost as if he shot the gap, and the lineman didn't even know Cooper was there. I mean, and he smacked him right at the point of contact.
Right.
But what a great play, Coach. Great job with the defense and a shutout. We're going to take a break and let Coach Scully get some water as well, and we'll be back right after these messages.
It all started with a sketch on a napkin. An idea created by 2 walk-on bench warmers. And after 10 years of hard work and perseverance to turn their dream into a reality, it's the #1 sports bar in America.
Welcome to Walk On.
Walk-ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
The 2022 Time Dealer of the Year, Bob Giles, is now the new Hyundai dealer in Senla. Bob earned the industry's most prestigious award out of 16,000 new car dealers nationwide.
Hi, I'm Bob Giles, and I promise our team at the all-new Giles Hyundai will do everything possible.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks right from your phone, day or night, wherever you are or whatever you're doing. Download our mobile app today.
51-0. I was so pleased with that Friday night when I was watching. Pleased for you guys. Sent you a text. I don't know if you got it or not.
I got it.
But just really excited about a senior. Yep. And this week, you figured it out on the roster without me. I didn't even have a roster, and you're like, we did 35 last week. We're now doing
58.
58.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about 58.
Number 58, David West, man. David West he's an awesome young man. I've got to kind of learn this kid over the past year a little bit more as I got, digging my heels in digging my toes in here, going into my third season here at Menard. And David's an awesome kid. A lot of people just see kids on the football field, or they see these young men out there doing what they're doing, or they just he's a leader. Okay, he's not one of our captains, but I think the reason why David was not voted one of our captains is because he's committed to everything, and some of his teammates doesn't know exactly what he's committed to. David right now, I think it was at the end of July, David was named one of the scout leaders for one of the highest levels that you can be for the Boy Scouts, man. He does he's like one of the top guys up there. And when you're a Boy Scout and you are able to lead young guys, you're a young man. Last year, he actually went out of the game and hurt his shoulder and was done for the rest of the season against the Avoyelles. And so it's kind of funny that this week it was actually named for him to be our guy that we talk about, our senior that we talk about, but he went out with a shoulder injury and wasn't able to come back for the rest of the year, and I know that kind of hurt him. So this week's going to be a big week for him. I know he's looking forward to playing these guys, but as far as him, he is just he's a top kid. He's a class act. He's not a perfect kid, but he's a kid that I do love coaching. From last year to this year, he's a tremendous kid that has grown on the football field. Last year, he was a kid that, was learning. It was his first year as a starter. Now he's one of our most aggressive offensive linemen. He starts at right tackle. If you see a double team and you see somebody getting drove back, probably 70% of the time, David West is a part of that, man. He loves going down, down blocking and double teaming. He loves to single block. And he's just doing a great job. But he's a leader and what he does, and I just believe in that kid so much, man. And it has a great family. His family life's awesome. Troy and Sandra, they do a great job with him, growing him up and taught him, values of life.
Yeah. Man, I mean, all the kids that we've talked about, you just, lucky, to have them. All you guys are lucky as coaches.
This year, and nothing against any other senior class, whether here or where I was at previous, this senior class to me is special, man. I love these kids. They, like I said about David and every other kid, none of them are perfect. But, man, these kids, they give us what we ask them to do. Sometimes they'll get into a lull, and then once we get on their tail and say, hey, look, we've got to pick this up, not for you but for the team, they jump right into it. You talk about the Davids, the Brocks, the other David, the Rubens, just all of those kids in the senior class. They believe, and that's all it takes. We want guys that believe in what we're doing, how we're doing it, to build a program, and the success is going to come off of these guys right here. And I feel the success is happening right now. So.
Yeah, and hopefully, this win for homecoming, I mean, it couldn't have come at a better time as well.
That's right.
Had a huge crowd, from my understanding. With folks their homecoming.
That's right.
And the year that they graduated, and then 20-year folks from '82.
Yeah.
Next year will be mine.
Man, look, I made a comment earlier today to the administration. They were like, "Yeah, there's a staff at '82, and they had a bunch of people here." And I was like, "Are you serious? They graduated in '82?" They're like, "Yeah." And I was like, "I was born in '82." They were like, "Huh? You're a puppy." And I'm like, "Y'all are old then."
That's right.
And they looked at me. I was like, "I was just joking, administration."
You were.
You're just a puppy, though.
Oh my gosh, man! My body doesn't tell me I'm a puppy. My mind does.
There you go.
Yeah. So we'll take a quick break, and we'll be back to talk about the next game and how Menard is going to try their best to go 2-0 in the new season in district play and kind of get some, I don't know if it's a revenge revenge, I don't know if that's the right word, but kind of get back for
and a year
3
before,
years in a row.
3 years in a row, But hey, look,
how does that work?
And look, it's a rubber match if you look at it.
Well,
we
that's
won the
true.
first year and they won the second year.
Yeah,
so it's a rubber match.
All right, so we'll be back right after these messages. Let's go to find that break. We'll do the Menard sponsors.
It all started with a sketch on a napkin, an idea created by two walk-on bench warmers. And after 10 years of hard work and perseverance to turn their dream into a reality, it's the #1 sports bar in America.
Welcome to Walk On.
Walk-ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, the trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
The 2022 Time Dealer of the Year, Bob Giles, is now the new Hyundai dealer in Senla. Bob earned the industry's most prestigious award out of 16,000 new car dealers nationwide.
Hi, I'm Bob Giles, and I promise our team at the all-new Giles Hyundai will do everything possible to live up to the high standards that earned us this most prestigious honor. And with the utmost enthusiasm, we greatly look forward to serving you.
And we're back live at the Eagles Nest out on the front porch of the man cave in the baseball area, watching some young kids take take fielding lessons.
Some future Eagles.
That's right.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's right. And you guys got your practice in before the rain, huh?
We did. We got our practice in a little bit early, but today is a crisp day, is what we call it. Today I put on the board Winning Wednesday, and we wanted to have a crisp practice, and I think for the most part, we had a really crisp. It looked like we had a really crisp practice on film and just out there. Our kids knew what to do. We made a couple adjustments today because throughout the week you got to make adjustments, but we had a really good practice today, and so we got it in before the rain, and we're gonna come out tomorrow at our walkthrough, which we say walkthroughs. Our kids aren't listening. Hopefully our kids aren't listening, but we call it a speed through for them, because it's just a mentality that we got to have, and so at our speed through tomorrow, we've got to make sure we execute all of the little things, and any adjustment that happens, we got to be making checks. We've got to see, formation alignments, formation adjustments, and then on the offensive side of the ball, we've got to make sure we're making
last week than normal.
We did.
Will we see a lot of that this week?
We can't, and so when we see something that we like, because a lot of teams these days use personnels. And so if they try to personnel us in a certain situation, we're going to tempo so you can keep that same personnel on the field. And so, with one guy out there on the field, we're going to have to use that one tempo play as much as we can.
That's right. That's right. One tempo.
One tempo.
For
that's
one
right.
guy.
That's
hey,
right.
Just in the last seconds that we have here for the show, the biggest thing that I think that Avoyelles does different than anybody else is they onside kick every time they kick off. And then they never punt.
They don't punt.
But that onside kick has always given us problems.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, we've had some issues this year with fielding the kicks, whether it's the second line not taking it in and letting it go behind, and and it goes all the way back even to when Chris, Principal Gatlin was.
Well, I'll
was
say
the
this,
principal.
nothing against Mr. Gatlin, but the last 2 years here, we fielded every onside kick.
Okay, there you go.
We fielded every onside kick that they've had, and look, we've spent many a times at practice today, many a time yesterday at practice, and even and talked about the alignment and formations and the different looks that they could possibly give us on Monday. But our kids understand, and so we put our best guys out there. I don't care if you're a defensive lineman, an offensive lineman, or whatever. If you can field an onside kick, get your behind out there and go do it for us. So looking forward to this game. It is a game there where there are some different wrinkles in there from their side of the ball, and we're going to have to throw some different wrinkles from our side of the ball as well. But I'll tell you this, it's going to be a very physical game because they're going to be physical, and so we've got to match that and to come out and play very fast for the first 15 plays of the game.
Well, and their scores that they've been putting on the board, kind of reflect that, that they go all out, and they've been doing that for years. But last week beating Oakdale 68-34. They beat Bunkie 70-16, Eunice 50-28, and Marksville 72-18. And in their losses, they put 21 and 28 on the board, losing to the two Christian schools, Turlings Catholic and LCA. Two tough schools, kind of similar. To the tough schools that we played.
No doubt.
To start. So I wish you all the best, Coach, to you and your staff. Again, it's been a pleasure, as it is every week, to kind of sit here and kind of go over these things and just listening to both you and Coach Scully, talk about the design of and not clips, next week to be able to go over and good luck.
Thank you so much, and we're confident going into this game. Again, we're trying to go 2-0 in this part of the season, but right now we're just thinking both schools are 0-0, and we've got to come out, play fast, play physical, and outside of that,
and this Eagles. Is it. This is the most important game right now.
Go Eagles.
Go Eagles. Have a blessed night, and don't forget, kickoff at 7 o'clock. We'll be live at 6:45 at 446sports.com. Look at the high school little wording on the underneath the header. Click it and click Menard, and you'll see us, or go to Facebook or YouTube and find us there at 446 Sports.
Go to HSM Athletics on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and you can find the link.
You'll find the link.
That's right.
Awesome. That's I need.